Okay, good morning, everybody. We are about to start. I would like to take 2 minutes out of your time to introduce our company, and I'll just give you a brief introduction about us. Okay, so for our webinar today, our topic is creating a custom service in Microsoft Dynamics 365 Finance and Operations. Introduction about us. So we are a Dynamic Stars company. We are a sister concern company of the consulting services. Just a minute, I have been told. Is my screen visible?
Not now, but instant class. And you can see.
Is it visible now?
Yeah, good. Yeah, it's good.
Okay, so I'll just give you again a brief introduction about us. We are Dynamic Stars, a sister concern company of the consulting services. What we do is we work with Microsoft partners and have been providing our services for Center of Excellence for Microsoft partners. And we have been working with over 45 partners currently who are across the globe. What we do is we are a partner centric company. What we aim to be is a one stop solution for our Microsoft partners, and we aim to serve them throughout the Microsoft Dynamics 365 ecosystem. These are our products. We work with Microsoft Dynamics 365 Business Central, Finance and Operation, which is now Finance and Supply Chain Management, uh, uh, and commerce. And we also work with CRM solutions that include sales, marketing, field service, customer service. Apart from that, we also help our partners with Power Platform integrations. This is like a brief introduction about all the services that we help our partners with. We do implementation services. For Business Central, we have a D365 rapid implementation methodology. We help our partners with solution maintenance, backend support, and dedicated services. We help with add-on development services, wherein we help them with research and development, provide support for add-ons. We also do system re-engineering, wherein we provide upgrade and migration services. Apart from that, we do various integration, licensing, and training, development of reports and dashboards through BI capabilities. So this is like a brief introduction about our company, and I would like to hand over to Shubham, who is our presenter for the day, for him to start with the webinar. Over to you, Shubham.
Hello, good morning, everyone. Is my screen visible?
Yes, it is visible.
Yeah. So, good morning, everyone. My name is Shubham Sa. I am working as a developer in Dynamic Stars LLC. Today, my topic of presentation is create custom services in Dynamic 365 for finance and operation. So, our objective of topic is basic about D365 for finance and operation, basic about services in D365 for finance and operation, create custom service with API, demonstration of complex service using Postman, and conclusion. So first about D365 for finance and operation. So Dynamic 365 for finance and operation is an enterprise resource planning, which is ERP system that enables medium to large size businesses to automate and manage their global operations. Now it provides a real-time visibility to support decision making, forecast future outcomes, and faster organizational growth. Dynamic 365 application enables organizations to manage financial risk and reduce fraud, helping them to move away from the transactional financial management to adopt predictive and proactive operations that help them to derive performance, protect revenue, and take better care of the people. So, about services in D365 for finance and operation. So, first of all, what is custom API integration used for? Custom API integration is for two or more different cloud software solutions to be connect together. Now, by connecting these solutions together, we can move data from one software solution to another. Services allow us to run code within Microsoft Dynamics 365. Now, this is very useful. If, for example, you need to retrieve a value that is not stored in a table, or you would like to run a process and run whatever info, whether it is successful or not. So it is possible through the services. So how to create service with API? So we will see one complex example in order to create custom service in D365. So there are several pieces we need. So first is request class. We need new class, that is our request class. The data we send in will be mapped to the variables in this class. Then we will use this class to run our operations. Next class is response class. In our code, we will set the variables in this class to contain whatever information we want to return to the calling program. D365 will then convert this value into a JSON data. Next is service class. This class th- uh, this is the class where we'll put the code that will first read the data in our request object, then run some process, and then populate a response object. Next is service object. We need service object that points to our service class. This lets Dynamic 365 know that our class can be called by an outside system. And lastly, fifth is service group to put our service object into. So what is done in header class? So first, in your Visual Studio project, create a new class by right clicking on your project and selecting add item, then class, then list, then OK. Now we will put data contract attribute above our class. So data contract attribute means this attribute applied to an X++ class and specifies that the class can be used as a data contract. Means that it should be serialized. So we put data contract attribute and data member above each parameter method. So we will see our first class. So this is my solution and project name. By right clicking on your project, one second, sorry, one second, one second. Now we will create one class. I name my class as create customer header class. This I will add data contract attribute above my class. And I will add some objects like customer account number and data area ID. Then I will create the parameter methods for the same and add data member attribute above these methods. So now our header class is ready. So, so next class we need is how to create line class. So we will need to follow the same process for the line class. In this class, the lines fields are there and it will look like this. We need header class and line class. So we are having array means we have multiple data for the particular header. That's why we are need these two classes. So we will create our new class, add class, and we will put data contract attribute about this class also. And I will need more objects for this class and same data member attributes and parameter methods for the same. So I will created that. So our line class is now ready. The next class we need is our request class. So when you are creating, so now we are ready to create rest of the objects we need in the service. When you create custom service in D365, the request class needs to have a variable for each piece of data you are sending in to the system. This class will map the data of the request object, which will send you from the outside system. So first create a class in Visual Studio and add data contract attribute just like before. So we will create these classes and we need to add header to the request class and line to the request class. We need we need to add header information for our project and lines information to in request class. So we will create this classes also. Add class, then put data contract attribute about the class, then add header and line details. So I have created these two objects. I taken a list for the line class. I will explain you later. And we will create data member attributes for the same. So our request class is also ready. Now we will move towards our next class, which is our response class. So what we need in a response class? The response class needs to have a variable for each piece of information we would like to send back to the calling program. So first create a new class in Visual Studio and we need to add same data contract attribute and add variables that will contain information you want to return to the calling program. I created variables error message and debug message. So I will create my class. So we need to add data contract attribute and add members also. Adding data contract attribute about the class. Now I will create objects for success, error message, and debug message. For success, we need true or false. That's why I've taken a boolean here, and other is string. So now I will create parameter methods for the same. So we are ready with our response class. The next class we will discuss is our service class. So how to create service class. So before moving towards a service class, we will see for which solution we are doing this example. So we are doing this example for customer creation using details of the customer. So details are given through the API, and by sending API request, and then it moves to the different classes and perform the task. So the service class. So now service class is the most interesting class when you create a custom service in D365. It is responsible for reading values from the request object, running some process, and then sending values on the response object. Now, first creates class and same data contract attribute about the class. And we will need our main method, which is our create method, to perform the task. The public create customer response class and main method name is create. Then we are passing our request class to the same. So inside the method, I have written the code to read the header object from the request object using parameter method and pass it into the method name create header. This method is responsible for reading values from the header class object, and I am storing this value in a temporary table. So next, I have written a literator to loop through the array or a list of lines object that we are sent in as a part of our request. So for each object, I call the method createLine. This method is responsible for reading values from the line class object. And in my case, I am storing this value in temporary table. So now we will create our class. So add class. I name my as service class, create customer. Then I will create my method and adding line to this method. So I have list of lines there. First, the data will come, the control will comes to the create class by when we call our API, the control moves towards our create class. Then it goes to this loop. If the multiple lines are there, then literator will call the create line method multiple times, and the header line class will have execute only once. So we have a main logic in our line class. So I have stored the header class and line class detail in our temporary class, and we have main logic for creating our customer. So now we'll move towards our next slide. So next is service object, creation of service object. The service object exposes our service class and allow it to be called by an outside system with the proper authentication. Now, how to create service class? We'll look by right clicking on your project, add new item, then services, and services. We need to add create service. So our service is ready. Now change these properties. Add service class to your service object, which is our Create customer service class 1 and need to add the external name as same. So now we will need to add service operation also. So right clicking on service operation, new service operation, and add your method here, which is our create method, and name same, put the name same as the method name. Save. So our service object is now ready. So we will move towards our next, which is our service group. So the service group is an object that can contain one or more services and is a way of organizing similar operations together. So we will create our service operation service group. So by right clicking on your project, add new item, service group, create customer service group, add. And now just simply drag and drop your service to your service group. So now it is ready. So now call the service from the postman. Now we are ready with all of our objects. So we will need to add this body to the postman and call the API from the postman. So we need first our URL. So just simply write your D365 URL and then API and service. You so the number of group service groups present in your services. So after that, select your service group, then select your service, and then select your main method present in your class service class. So HTTPS, this specifies that we are making a secure call. After that, D365 URL, this should be replaced by the URL used to access your D365 environment. For example, local system USN con one box. Now, after that, API services. This text tells D365 that we are calling a service. After that, we have service group name. This is the name of the service group we are calling. After that, this is the name of the service we are calling. And lastly, we have create. This is the name of the method we are calling on the service class. So yeah. So now in this example, postman body is more complex. So we will look at our postman body. So I have created my postman body. So request, then in header class, customer account number and data area ID is there. And in our line class, customer group, currency, payment term ID, payment mode, email and telephone is there. So I just simply change my customer name and I have pasted my URL here. Now I will just need to authenticate. And now I would need to build my project first. It is taking time. So once it is done, we are ready to call. So for why we have taken post method is to create we want to if we want to create some a new part in our system, so we have post matter for that. So practice check complete. It's taking time. So yeah, so our build is completed. So we will call our API. So when it is completed, then we will have our customer in our all customer segment in D365 for finance and operation. So it is showing success message true. So now let's refresh this page and we will have our new customer WB00266, which I have created, and the customer group, currency, and telephone number is also there. And if we look inside the customer details, we have email address and mobile phone also. So yeah, now the conclusion. Now any outside system can call code inside of D365. Now this is can be used by Microsoft Power Apps, Power Automate, Azure Logic Apps, and other external systems, and many more. Thank you so much, all of you. Thank you so much for listening. Any questions?
Yes, Asif. Does anybody have any questions for Shubham?
Huh? They have started to lately open all the tickets and they are
We have a question in the comment. What is difference between custom service and OData API?
So OData fetches the data from one or many database and tables with the help of select and insert and all statements. And in services, custom services, we can have a code to call outside system. Means we have one web application or something. So we will have access one endpoint access through API. So we can call the main system. That is the actual difference.
Shubham, for the last bit, your voice was breaking. Can you please repeat the last sentence?
And OData needs entity and custom API does not needs entity.
There's the other question. If transactions is flow between D365 and third-party environment, how custom service maintain logs?
Yeah, that's good. So we have to create a log table and store data for that. I think I have. And also result and request content. We also create job to be run if failed the one.
Does anybody has any other questions? So this is an open forum. If you guys have anything to ask Shubham, you guys are free to ask. Okay. Thank you for attending today. It was nice meeting you all. We would be sharing a feedback form with you, and uh, I see we have somebody typing in. Okay, I would be sharing a feedback form with everybody, and please share your valuable feedback. This was really help us improve for our coming webinar series. So thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful day ahead. I think we have a question for Shubham.
Yeah, just a second. How can I connect external database from D365 by customer service? So that we can do with means we need need to connect connection string and database type for that, and that is not related to any service, and we can create a DLL as well for that.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, you
So
are
for
answering that.
Okay, if you have any questions, you can note it down in the comment section, and we'll sure to send that answer your way. So thank you, everybody.
for external database, I think it is not need the service. It is done by connecting DLL or something.
Okay, thank you, everybody. Have a wonderful day.